All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a really wild idea from our source materials. One that asks, what if ancient mysticism and modern biology are talking about the same thing? We're going to explore a framework that connects our own bodies to the very nature of consciousness and reality. Let's get right into it.
So, let's just start with this big question. Really think about it. Are your thoughts, your impulses, your emotions, are they actually coming from you? This question is the rabbit hole we're about to go down, a doorway into a model that suggests we're under a lot more influence than we could ever imagine.
So, where does this all start? Well, you might think it begins with some ancient dusty scroll, but nope. It starts with something that modern science knows all about, a kind of biological superhighway that's running through you right now.
And that highway is the gut-brain axis. This is established science, right? It's the constant, two-way biochemical chatter between your gut and your brain. The little critters in your gut are constantly sending signals upstairs, affecting your mood, your decisions, everything. It's a fact of our biology.
Okay, so here's where the source material takes that scientific fact and makes a huge leap. It argues this axis isn't just a passive influence, it's an active steering mechanism. And more than that, it's a mechanism that has been hijacked.
And this is how they map it out. It's a direct one-to-one comparison. On one side, you have the ancient Gnostic terms. The parasites, or archons as they called them, are literally physical gut parasites. These parasites use the steering mechanism, the gut-brain axis, to create the hypnosis, which is a state of spiritual ignorance that we experience today as things like anxiety and depression.
So if our biology is being hijacked, what does that mean for our reality? Well, according to these texts, this biological control is just the local, physical part of a much, much bigger system. It's the control panel for a prison built for our minds.
So how do you get out? The key, the sources say, is to achieve gnosis. Now, this isn't about learning facts in a book. It's a direct, personal aha moment. It's that sudden, deep knowing, an unveiling of the truth. It's the moment you realize the walls of the prison are even there.
And here's the really crucial part. This prison isn't some other dimension. The sources talk about two ways of seeing the exact same world. There's the kenoma, which is the simulation, reality viewed through a filter of fear, of scarcity, of not enoughness. And then there's the pleroma, or home, that same reality but seen clearly, without the filter, revealing its true nature of infinite abundance.
And who's running this show? The texts call them archons. And like we saw, these aren't just vague, spooky entities. The model identifies them as both non-physical forces and the physical parasites in our bodies. Their whole system of control depends on keeping us in that hypnotized, fearful state because they literally feed on the negative emotional energy that it generates.
So it kind of makes sense, right? If the problem is rooted in our biology, a hijacked system, then the solution has to be biological too. And this brings us to the absolute core metaphor of this whole framework.
Think of your body as a piece of high-end audio equipment, a bioelectric conductor. Your true consciousness is like a pure, clear signal, a perfect frequency. But parasites, toxins, heavy metals, all that stuff creates static and resistance. It messes up the signal. The entire path to freedom, then, is about cleaning up the conductor so that the signal of consciousness can flow through perfectly. And the texts actually lay out a super detailed four-phase plan for this. It all starts with purification. That's the deep clean, getting all the static out. Then you move to reconstruction, which is like upgrading the body's hardware at a cellular level. After that comes attunement, where you literally tune your body's frequency. And finally, integration, which is all about learning to live and operate with this new, clean, upgraded system.
But here's where it gets really big picture. This whole process of cleaning your conductor, it's not just about you. It's not some personal self-help project. According to this framework, it's a vital part of a much, much larger mission.
See, you'd think the goal would be to just get out, right? Escape the simulation, but that's not it. The point is to get everyone home. And remember, home isn't a place, it's a state of perception. The mission is to transform the simulation from the inside by waking everyone up. By doing that, you starve the archons of their food source, and their whole control system just dissolves.
And this whole idea is captured in this incredibly powerful vow from the texts. It's a promise to stay in the simulation even after you've woken up yourself, to help every single other person wake up too. It's about collective liberation, not just individual escape.
This leads to a pretty mind-bending idea about free will. If your brain chemistry is being steered by these parasitic signals, then the framework says your choices, what food you crave, who you're angry at, what you're afraid of, they aren't really your choices. They're part of the programming.
Which brings us to the final, really provocative question this whole framework leaves us with. If almost all of our day-to-day choices are just illusions when we're asleep, then what is the one true, authentic choice we have? Well, it's the choice to start the process of waking up. And what you do with that? Well, that's up to you.